other note, you know, you stand back, and I had to come up, trifocals, whatever, you miss a step, take them off. You know, you think back in terms of, my mind is not aged like my body. Let me share that with you. First of all, I still in my mind think I'm much younger than I really am. When I stand back and think I've basically been involved with this industry for 50 years, 17 of the last probably a little bit absent in a way. But at the same time today I was deeply humbled and touched really as far as seeing so many people I've known. I stand back and I think about the impact that they've made, you've made, as far as fishing is concerned. And today being able to just see and talk and meet and greet, it's really meant a lot to me. It just touched me as far as my heart is concerned. But one of the things I know that most of you thought, probably Ray Scott and Bob Cobb came to see me because I'm so good looking. Forget it. Most of you don't even know what this book is. It's called Housekeeping in Old Virginia. Tonight, when they were talking about Dr. Henshaw, I thought, I'll accept that award. I was up close and personal with him as well. I know. The truth of the matter is, when Bob Cobb, who's here tonight, and that deeply touched me, walked into that office where Morris Deeds, you probably heard of him, Bert, he brought him in my office and said, here, show him how to give you a break even. Ray had this book under his arm. The interesting thing about it is, if you would take a look, this is Housekeeping in Old Virginia, the first cookbook ever in America. We gave probably 500,000 of these away in building cookbook clubs. And then there was a book of the black bass. Kind of similar looking, that was burgundy, this one's green. The interesting thing about it is again, this was kind of walking into what I consider to be two guys who came in, sat down, and started sharing their dreams with me. And the interesting thing about it is that neither of them knew, I knew who they were. Not that I'd done homework, but I'd already been introduced to tree-turned fisheries. If you don't know who that is, it's a little curly keeps saying, I'm not even certain, David's shaking his head over there. Interestingly enough, a guy by the name of Joe Fazio kept saying, watch it, you need to go see it. You need to go over there and help him to build a membership. And interestingly enough, when Ray and Bob came in and sat down, I sat there and thought, I already had a passion for bass fishing. One of the reasons why was not that I was the best, but simply stated my dad loved bass fishing better than anybody I've ever seen in my life. He was into catch and release before it was something that we coined and carried forward as far as bass is concerned. He caught them, but he never shared where he went. He never shared where he caught them on. And he never would obviously share them as far as his secrets were concerned in terms of what he loved to do. But interestingly enough, I watched him wade into the water to get the first bass I ever caught, drag it out. Interestingly enough, when I caught a fish or a bass, which my grandmother called green trout, guess what he did? At that time, he didn't release it. He caught it, he took it home, he put it in the bathtub, and bringing everybody around to come and look at that fish one, because that's the fish that Helen caught. So it was one of those things that, truthfully, I stood back and was great, and as I said, I wasn't great at fishing, but I loved it. But I loved it because I loved him. And then the children in my life that came along a little bit later on, we certainly introduced them to fishing as well. But you know, it's not about me. It's about a sport. And when we got in, and you know, as I said, I look back in terms of where we were and where the industry was at the time. I think Ray had about 9,000 members when I joined him. And the thing about it is it became very passionate. He had a passion. He had a dream. Bob Cobb had a dream. He came on a whim, as far as Ray was concerned, because it became very possible, obvious, once you joined into the organization, there was not a lot there yet. But the one thing about it is, we had a great blend in terms of people. It certainly was about the staff, in terms of organization, because they all worked with their heart and they worked passionately about what they did because they believed in it. Interestingly enough, and looking back over those now 50 years, it became very obvious that we were a service organization that was there to serve fishermen, whether it happened to be pro anglers or the average angler. And you look at the evolution that happened as far as the equipment that came out of the tournament trail, whether it happened to be bass boats or lures or techniques or whatever. Bob Cobb took that, and as he said, he filtered it down for recycling and put it in Bassmaster magazine. All we preached about was the simple fact that with this patch make you a better bass fisherman. Not every bass fisherman wears this patch, but the idea that people want to belong, but more than anything else, they wanted to catch bass, they wanted to catch bigger bass. And then we started talking about, we've got to also watch out for the resource. Bert, that's one of the things when we started talking about clean water, the first project I personally had worked on. Dave Breck, I look over at him in terms of certainly 2 years, he's been there a long time. And I remember when he said to me, I just want to be an editor. Didn't make any difference what it was, and it turned out to be for a while, Southern Outdoors. He's done a wonderful job. Bob Cobb, Craig Lamb, who talks about bass class, went to a funeral the other day, and was interested in there because I thought to myself as I stood there, it was an old employee's mother, and the place was just filled with former employees of Bass, which really spoke highly. But the thought was, it's not just the Bass family as far as employees are concerned, but this room is filled with Bass families in terms of the B.A.S.S and the impact it had. So I look back on it and I think it was a people business. I think about Casting Kids, somebody mentioned it tonight. And I never will forget, and these things touch my heart deeply. The first little boy that won that Casting Kids contest, they showed me a picture of him, and his front of his pants was wet. And he wet his pants, and I thought, well, I'd wet mine too if I wanted something like that. Interestingly enough, at the next classic, I'm standing there with a leg down, and I realized that it must be his grandmother. So I went on and I said, I know you must be proud of me. We're so excited for him and all that sort of thing. And I told him the story about the little wet circle on the front of his pants. And she looked at me and she said, let me tell you about Casting Kids and how it impacted his life. Said Eric was a little boy from Georgia who was going deaf. And she said it was because of his kidneys. But she said he won the little Casting Kids contest. And when he was entering the school for the deaf in Georgia, he went from being a nobody to being a somebody. And that's the thing that just touched me in terms of the impact of going to the classes and people coming. And I guess you guys realize what you, and I'm talking pro anglers right now primarily, when those people would come to the Bassmaster Classic, sometimes you might not see some of the ones I did. The parents, for example, who lost a child, or the parents who, for example, to this day, I stayed in communication with some that later on the children grown up and their lives have gone in the wrong direction. But they were impacted by what you did. They was part of the Bass family, part of belonging. And I just thank God for the opportunity to be what I consider to be some service and have big ears. Sit back and listen and try to figure out exactly what we could do. As I said, I look at some of the ones I think Colin Moore's here, some of the people in the background. I didn't come up with the idea of Casting Kids. Big P had some money. We wanted a big piece of money, and I went back to Lynn Wheaton and said, Lynn, we need a Casting Kids program. I told him, why take it to Oklahoma? We can spend the money right here at Bass in terms of doing a good job. So we worked hard for people. But the thing I look back on is I said, all the people I know I should thank, and gosh knows, as I said, the industry, all the people that really truly made this world of bass meaningful. But I still don't stand back and say the person I need to thank more than anybody else in this world happens to be Ray Scott. What if he saw in me or Bob Cobb, or I could go right on down the line. Because the thing about it is, and I've never seen anybody as passionate about doing something. And I know he's been credited with saying God let it happen. He truly believes it was divine providence. Well, from my viewpoint, God made it happen. In terms of seeing this industry grow as it has, the impact it's had, growing from fishing being a little small sport as far as bass in particular is concerned, to something that's a huge, huge industry. Johnny Morris, I remember his growing up with us as well as far as being one of the first tournament fishermen. Well, as I said, the thing that I think I probably have not done in all of this is throughout the years, it's been a great ride for me. I've been away from it for about 17 years now. But I know one thing for sure, we all had a great time. And the one thing that I would like you to do as much as anything else, as I said, I'm deeply honored and I'm appreciative and deeply touched by your comments and your thoughts. But more than anything else, I'd like us all to stand up and as I leave, thank Ray Scott for having the vision he did. Because remember, without a vision, the people would perish. And he's the guy who brought it to the forefront to make it what it is today. And believe it or not, maybe somebody else would have done it. But it took a Ray Scott to walk that walk and talk that talk. So come on, guys, give him a good hand.